let's be real. The floor of your life can drop out from under you in a single, ordinary conversation. Mine happened on a Tuesday. I'm Clara, 35, and I thought I had it all figured out. My husband Liam, 39, and I had built a good life over 5 years of marriage, a comfortable, predictable rhythm built around our 2-3-year-old twin boys, who were the blazing center of our universe. We had our struggles, sure, but the foundation felt like solid rock. Then, a ghost from his past decided to pay a visit. Her name was Maya. She was Liam's high school sweetheart, the one who got away, the one he'd spent a decade with before they fizzled out due to, as he always vaguely put it, compatibility issues. Now, she was back in our city, stricken with kidney failure, and hooked up to a dialysis machine several times a week. She'd tracked him down through an old mutual friend, a fact that immediately set off alarm bells in my head. Why him? Why now, after all these years of radio silence? When he told me he felt a powerful need to help her, my stomach twisted into a cold knot. I tried to keep my voice level, reasonable. Does she not have her own people? I asked him. Her family, her friends, someone from her current life? The question seemed logical to me, a sane boundary in a suddenly insane situation. But he reacted as if I'd slapped him. He was pissed. He told me I was being petty, that he was disappointed in my lack of maturity. He said he expected better from me, that I was showing jealousy over a long-ended relationship, when all he saw was a sick person in need. The guilt trip was immediate and heavy, and it left me reeling. I scrambled for solid ground, for a compromise that would allow him to feel like a good person without making me feel like a stranger in my own marriage. Look, I said, my voice tight with the effort to stay calm. If the situation is this dire, we can help. We can finance a good nursing facility. We can even rent her a place in our flat in the other locality. But I drew a hard, bright line. I don't want you personally involved as her nurse or her primary emotional support. I don't want to go to the hospital with you to hold her hand. That feels like a violation of us.
His response was a masterclass in making me feel like the villain. He sighed, a deep, wary sound that implied he was dealing with an irrational child. He said he was just so disappointed. He couldn't believe I would be so cold as to just toss money at a suffering human being. A patient, he insisted, needed to see that people were physically there for them, that they weren't alone. He made my boundary sound like a profound moral failing. And that's the core of it, isn't it? The intimacy of caregiving. It's not just about administering medicine or driving someone to appointments. It's about the quiet moments, the vulnerable conversations, the middle-of-the-night fears soothed away. That level of emotional labor creates a bond, a shared universe of two against the world. And that universe, in a marriage, should be exclusive to the two people who swore the vows. To offer that to an ex-lover isn't compassion, it's emotional infidelity waiting to happen. A slow-burn poison for your current relationship. I tried one more time, a final, desperate attempt to reach the man I thought I married. I appealed to his sense of fairness, to our sons, to our family unit. It's unfair to me and to the boys that you're so hell-bent on being another woman's emotional support tool, I pleaded. He immediately weaponized my love for him. It's tragic that you don't trust me after 9 years together, he fired back, accusing me of inventing an affair. He told me that, ideally, I should have been the one volunteering to help her, to visit her, to show empathy. The sheer audacity of it took my breath away. He wasn't just crossing a boundary, he was actively recruiting me to help him dismantle it. The brutal, ugly truth finally came to light, not through his confession, but through hers. I had to go to the hospital's renal unit to pick up a forgotten insurance file. The place smelled of antiseptic and quiet despair. And there she was, Maya, being helped by a nurse. She was pale and thin, but her eyes were sharp and clear. She recognized me instantly, a chilling fact I still can't explain, and dismissed the nurse with a wave of her frail hand. We sat in the sterile waiting area, and she didn't waste a second. "You're Clara, Liam's wife?" she stated. I nodded, my throat tight. She leaned in, her voice a low, confidential whisper that felt like a shard of glass. "I was planning to ease into this, but since you're here, I know I'm intruding, but I never stopped loving him. I was the one who ended it, and I've regretted it every single day. I just want to be with him again, even if it's only for the little time I have left." The words hung in the air, stark and shameless. She wasn't just asking for a kidney, she was asking for my life, my husband, my children's father. I left the hospital in a daze, the world tilting on its axis. When I confronted Liam, the dam broke. He didn't deny it. He said, with a terrifying calm, that he couldn't help how he felt, that being around her in her fragile state had reopened a wound he'd never properly let heal. The nostalgia, the what-ifs, had proven more powerful than 9 years and 2 children with me. He was choosing a dying woman's tragic second chance over the living, breathing reality of our family. The man I loved was gone, replaced by a stranger blinded by a cinematic fantasy. I looked at him, this person who shared my bed and my children, and felt nothing but a cold, hollow stillness. "If your heart is with her," I heard myself say, my voice eerily calm, "then that's where you should be." I asked him to leave. The house, a 3-bedroom sanctuary in a quiet academic neighborhood, has always been mine, a purchase I made with my professor's salary long before he was a permanent fixture. He left without much of a fight, his mind and heart already miles away. Now I'm a single mother of twin 3-year-old boys, navigating the exhausting wreckage. We're tangled in a web of joint investments, a mutual fund for the boys' future, a small but profitable commercial property downtown. He's already fighting for a share of assets that my capital built, a bitter irony that adds insult to a profound injury. My lawyer is now a permanent contact in my phone, and the phrase forensic accounting is part of my daily vocabulary. It's a draining, soul-crushing process, but my financial independence is my armor. It's the one thing that allows me to stand firm. I get up every day, I teach my classes, and I pour all the love I have left into my boys, who are too young to understand why Daddy doesn't live here anymore. The silence in the house is profound, but it's a clean silence. It's no longer polluted by his gaslighting and my simmering anxiety. He chose a fleeting, tragic romance. My choice is for a stable, honest future, even if I have to build it from the ground up, completely alone. Author's note: all characters and events portrayed in this story are entirely fictional.